I've played the Halo games. I've read the Halo books, First Strike, The Fall of Reach, Ghosts of Onyx. I've seen most of Halo Nightfall. I've seen all of Forward unto Dawn. I've even played the top-down Halo shooters. I enjoy this franchise. I've even got the anthology graphic novel as well that was released way back when like Halo 3 came out. So you could say I was pretty excited when they announced that they were doing a Halo TV series. But I have had some reservations, even like before the show came out, with like the various recasts that went on and whatnot, and then finding out that it was set in a different timeline, which I kind of understood because I thought, okay, there is a lot there. Setting out a new timeline means that you can kind of simplify everything, make it fresh, but it just looks like they're willing to do everything for it not really to be Halo. So that's why you've got this article on Variety, which I actually saw from a video that Clownfish TV did, whereby they state we didn't look at the game, we didn't talk about the game, we talked about characters and the world. I don't understand what it is about video games and video game movies, but they just don't get it. Like, if you don't play the game, how in the hell are you supposed to understand the game? Someone can tell you about the game and what it's like, but a video game is not a passive experience. You're actually engaging within the fictional world that is laid out in front of you. Not every first person shooter is the same. Playing Call of Duty isn't the same as playing Halo, and it isn't the same as playing Battlefield, and Battlefield isn't the same as playing Doom. They're all different, and they need to understand this when adapting video games, and especially with this kind of video game as well, because Halo's it's a big deal. I wouldn't even consider myself like the biggest Halo fan, but as I just said at the beginning, I've taken part in a lot of the Halo franchise, so I was looking forward to this, and it just makes me feel like they don't really understand what they're doing at all. We live in a time now where sci-fi TV shows don't look like TV shows anymore. They look like movies. For example, The Mandalorian, The Book of Boba Fett, Obi-Wan. They look like movies. Other sci-fi TV shows pale in comparison because they just don't have the budget. Now this Halo, it looks pretty expensive for what it is, but it doesn't look like it's on par with like the Star Wars stuff, which was doing revolutionary stuff. And instead, in this show, apparently they're going to delve into Master Chief and like when he was younger and XYZ and blah blah. We had that in First Strike. We completely know as to what the UNSC did when they, took the strongest children, replaced them with clones that were going to die of like terminal illnesses, so they could take the best children and train them up to be the best soldiers to stop insurgencies in the outer colonies. So I don't get why they feel the need to kind of. I guess they're going to change that, but it is a good story like First Strike, which details all the young Spartans and some of the ones that didn't make it and had to kind of go and do like other things because their bodies couldn't handle the augmentations and stuff like that. And I'm just like this show. I don't think this show understands Master Chief. Like when you play the game, you're not Master Chief. You're just controlling him. And Master Chief is kind of designed to be just like a big tank. But then as the game goes on and his interactions with Cortana, he becomes way more human, and he can say like he can crack a joke. It won't be the most obvious joke, but in the situation that he's in, when he says a certain kind of thing, he's cracking a joke or he's being funny, although he says it in monotone. That's what Chief is, and I don't think this show will get that. Like I'm hearing that he's not even really technically going to be the main character, and it just kind of makes me sad because Halo's dope, innit? Another thing that I'm not a big fan of is some of the changes to the characters. So Jacob Keyes is in the show. He's a little bit different than how you previously remember. So his race has completely changed, obviously, because that's the thing TV shows like to do a lot these days. And he has a daughter, Miranda Keyes. But this version of Jacob Keyes is married to, or was married to, Catherine Halsey. And so Miranda Keyes doesn't follow in her dad's footsteps anymore. Instead, she follows in her mum's footsteps and is also a doctor of some sort. And I'm just kind of like, why? Why did like Cowboy Bebop had this same problem where they had to connect everything really tightly, and when they do that, it feels like this whole entire kind of universe that they're part of only really has about 20 people in it because all these connections are so tight. And it's just kind of boring to me. I wish that they'd stop doing that. But yeah, here you've got Jacob Keyes and you got Halsey there having a bit of an argument. To be honest, I thought that was Avery Johnson and they'd given him a beard instead of a mustache. And he's one of the best bits of the game. He's like a Apone from Aliens. He's just absolutely brilliant. He's like Master Chief's companion all the way through, from Halo 1 to 3. He's just a brilliant part of the cast. So that's what I thought this was at first. And then later on, I found out it's Jacob Keyes. For some reason, they've given Jacob a beard. Jacob didn't have a beard. He had like the white hair on top. And he had like the military haircut. It was kind of no nonsense, kind of straight to the point. I like Jacob Keyes. And yeah, I don't know why they're choosing to do stuff like that. Maybe it's the fact there's Miranda. Maybe it's the fact that they've not played the game, so they don't really understand the important roles that these characters played in the actual story. They're just taking these archetypes, I guess, and placing them in their own story. I hope to God they don't screw up the look. That is wearing like Johnson's stuff. That shot is so Johnson. Like Johnson better be in the show at some point, man. But if he isn't, I'll be really disappointed. Because he's like I said, he's one of the best bits of the original trilogy. And yeah, that's the whole thing with John as a kid. And yeah, I mean, as I don't want Master Chief to take off his helmet. Like if they do that, maybe they should have got Carl Urban to play him. Because I think if Carl Urban was like, what, Chief doesn't take off his helmet? I've played Judge Dredd. I know how to not take off a helmet. So I'm interested to see as to what it can offer. But man, it's leaving me a bit worried. Like I like the whole new timeline thing, but I really don't know if it's gonna work. And people have wanted a big budget Halo project for a while, and this is what we're getting, man. And it, God, yeah. I don't know if I'm 100% down with it. I'll see it. I'll see what it's about. I pray that it's good. If it's not, I guess it's another one of these situations where, at the end of the day, if they make the thing, fans will love the thing and get everyone else to watch the thing. They'll do all the advertising for them. But they don't seem to understand that. And I don't know why. Let me know as to what you think of Halo and as to whether you're going to watch it or not. Do all the things. And as always, stick around and watch another video.